Where are we?
Oh, we're
I think we're lost.
yeah, we're lost. We're at Loch Ardinning Wildlife Nature Reserve, which is owned by the Scottish Wildlife Trust.
You're running away from me again.
It's near Mulgai
Or Strathblane.
or Strathblane.
In the middle.
I'm here for a doner, not for a race.
Doner kebab?
Can I get kebabs out the trees, you dafty? Find out what they live in and the unicorns dropped their stick. See, this is how you make a gate. Because it's simple. It doesn't fry your brain cells trying to operate it.
When you get to the reserve, you've got the possibility of taking either one of two paths. There's a little short one, which is the nature trail, which is like 1.5 kilometres long. And there's a longer one called the Muir Path, which is like 3.5 kilometres long, but it's suggested to wear stout footwear, boots, whatever, waterproof, because it can be very buggy. Buggy. Well, I suppose there've got some bugs there, invertebrates. Boggy. Okay. So if you go off route or you want to explore on your own without following marked tracks, you can expect this kind of terrain here. Very boggy, very muddy, very wet.
I take it that includes the Muir route as well.
The Muir route can be, I would imagine, probably at this time of year, because we've had a lot of rain, it will be wet and boggy and muddy. So please wear your boots.
As we say in Scotland.
Wait. I take it that's the Muir trail as well.
Well, yes, you could imagine that at this time of year, because we have a lot of rain, it will be boggy, muddy. So wear your boots.
As we say in Scotland, mank.
And here we go. First signs of spring, everybody. I have no idea what this is, but it's budding anyway. Maybe somebody else can tell us.
Right, look. Climb up. The straight one, take the right. Which one unicorn?
I don't know. It says probably.
It's a loop,
It's a
silly
loop.
Billy.
Such a grump.
Not a grump.
Right, look.
You are a grump.
Look, that's the look.
It's time to release some gas.
Who was that?
I don't know.
The frogs again.
Okay, frogs again.
We are at Wildlife Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you didn't kill it.
Well, I'm sure it'll be okay. I can't see it anymore. It must have hopped away.
Farting frog.
I don't know, but we'll go this way anyway.
It's a loop. Unicorn says it's a loop.
Well, no, Yak said it was a loop, but
It's
it
a loop on
kind
the
of
map.
looks like a loop on the board.
Playing it past his buck now.
Trust me, it's a loop. And if it isn't, then I suppose you can just batter me, can't you?
I know. I could.
You can hear some birds, but still plagued with
Yeah, I'll try. Nah, well, this is.
traffic.
Stop kicking my stick.
Stop putting it in front of my foot.
People do come here to birdwatch, and you probably hear them. You can get curlew, you can get snipe, you can get red grouse, you can get windchat, stonechat, scarlark, a grasshopper warbler. I've never heard of that one.
New one.
And you get whipperswans in the winter.
You know what else you can get? You can get a membership with the Scottish Wildlife Trust. You get access to their magazines and their visitor centre.
Well, there you go.
There's a wee plug for them.
Mm-hmm.
Since they're the ones that do all this anyway. Why not?
This particular,
Wind chat, does that have anything to do with that flirt earlier on?
not wind, not wind, whin, W-H-I-N, whin chat.
Vast amounts of old man's beard living in that tree.
Bacon here. I don't know, is that a warbler? The one that goes.
Excuse me, I don't know. If I didn't know any better, I would say someone had built that, but it's obviously just the rock formation.
Oh, we thought it might have been a wee badger hole. We were curious. We wouldn't disturb the badgers as such, but as a nocturnal, we probably wouldn't know we were here.
Nah, they'll be in REM sleep. What?
Well, after seeing that, what we thought was a wee badger hole, we were discussing the fact that they too have dreams.
Yes, REM sleep and dreams. And actually, to be honest with you, if you have a dog, you've probably seen your dog sitting in its bed swimming, pretending it's swimming.
Yep.
They dream
Whimpering.
and they have nightmares, yes.
Yeah, in their sleep.
We were discussing whether, well, as we know, most animals that we know of, if not all, only see in black and white or similar kind of things. They only must dream in black and white.
I suppose that would be like if you're completely blind, then, blind people that have been blind since birth dream about sounds and tastes and smells because they've never seen anything before.
You said elephants have full colour vision.
I'm pretty sure they do, yeah. I don't know for a fact that zebras can most definitely only see in, I don't know exactly what spectrum it is, but the reason that tigers are the colour that they are is because their prey can't see them. Which is why if you look at a tiger and you think it's camouflage, it's daft. It's because to us it is, but to its predators it isn't.
Mm-hmm. This wildlife reserve was established in 1988
That was an eternity ago.
to help with the preservation of wetlands, moorlands, and the various flora, fauna, vertebrates and birds in the area.
Birds and vertebrates at the same time.
Birds and invertebrates. Invertebrates are insects.
You said vertebrates, not invertebrates,
No,
you silly unicorn.
Invertebrates.
You're a vertebrate.
Anyway, this is a Category 4 conservation site. So,
So,
it's very well protected.
I should hope so. I quite like Scottish moorland and
Wetland.
bogs and wetland
Loch.
and whatever other things that we used to run about in with bare feet on.
Bare feet.
I don't know if our viewers can see through the trees. I was expecting a smaller loch, but I can see it through there and it goes all the way over there.
And I'd just like to clarify, because I've been hearing it in media everywhere and from multiple people, that's loch, not loch. Loch.
Well, many people have apologised for not being able to pronounce that phlegm sound.
If you can't, then just say, do a soft one, loch, loch.
I mean, that surprise me that loch is probably quite big, because the size of this reserve itself is like 142 to 148 hectares of land.
That's quite a lot.
So it's quite big. Yeah.
There's this wee path that someone's taken down to the loch, and obviously you can access it as it says in the board at the front, but I suppose it's just, as they say, down to you to determine whether that's reasonable or not, depending on what plants are about the place or where you're walking from. So, might go down it in a bit, we'll see.
Down to the loch at another point.
Yeah. Scotland has got to be one of the only places on the planet, off the top of my head, that I can think of where you can enjoy such a dull and miserable colour scheme in such a sense that it's almost enchanting.
Yeah, in a lot of ways this is true in various places. But again, it depends on what part of Scotland you're in, whether you're in this kind of lowland country or you start going up into the mountains, because then you start getting the purple,
Yeah, the Highlands are always colourful. It doesn't really matter what time of year it is. It's just down here in the upper lowlands, shall we say, it's kind of like this.
I have to say though, I think so far from what I've seen of this, it's getting quieter now because the traffic's away back there. What I think is when this is fully green, it's going to be an absolutely wonderful place to walk.
Yeah, especially with all the trees and that.
The thing is, you might even find yourself a yak and a unicorn.
I think he found a Yak and Unicorn. Well, to clarify, even though it says it's well signposted, it appears that there is no sign clarifying which way to go at this particular crossroads, so that way is the larger moor walk. And, you know, there's probably a lot of ticks up there because they have a whole sign dedicated to just that, but it's early for that yet. We are going that way, my left, your right, to the top of the loch.
Right, we've come down to the lochside. I didn't know. If you go that way as well, it'll take you onto the longer stretch. We're going to go back this way by the shorter one. Like I was saying to the yak and the bear, this particular project is going to be expanding our native woodland here and also bringing in habitats for the wildlife that you can get around here. I already mentioned the birds, but the trees as well. You get willow, you get alder, you get birch, fluffy silver grey catkins. They come in January and they're flowered yellow by March.
There's birds, they nest, there's nests everywhere.
A willow warbler, I've already mentioned those. And you can get those weird kind of fun guys.
You know what else you can get?
What are those fun guys?
You get them on the like, I call them mushrooms. The mushrooms that grow out of the barks of the trees.
What are they called?
You know the mad polyphills that grow out the trunks of birch trees?
Yeah.
It's them. The big disc ones that
big
you're not supposed to touch.
Polypore.
Polypore. Interesting.
So.
I'm surprised that this classifies as a loch and not a loch-in. I wonder if it's artificial or if it's always been here. It just so happens to have happened.
I mean, it's quite barren at this time of year, but it's still kind of a prettiness about it.
There is definitely a prettiness about it.
It's certainly peaceful. It is nice to get away and just come away from the noise of the towns and traffic.
Even though we're only really less than a mile out at the moment, it's still half decent. Nice, pleasant.
Yeah. Nice horizon. I still think even I was saying, even if you look out here, I said even at this time of year, I still think the range of colours, as the yak had already mentioned, is gorgeous. It's greens and browns and golden hues. And obviously, once the spring comes in a wee bit more, we'll get sort of like the darker greens and the rich, lush yellows and whatnot. So, it says that the whooper swans are here during the winter on this loch, but I don't see any of them now. Just wondering if they've moved on. But yeah.
It is late winter, but anyway, as I was going to say, I think it's probably a bit early here for most of the wildlife, considering that about 80% of the native Scottish wildlife that I know of hibernates or goes very quiet in the winter. They're walking.
Whoop, whoop. what I say.
You want any whooping spots?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a first one. I need a seat. And I
Okay,
just found
have a seat.
one. That seems to be dry enough. We perch here.
I could have told you that by looking at the wood. Was it like a neighbour?
Yeah. The clouds. I don't even know what it. Are they going that way? That way. What is it? What? North, south? I forgot to point to my compass.
I don't know which way I'm looking at.
I
Really?
don't either.
I don't have a compass
We
on
don't
me.
have a compass. Bear? Do you know what direction we're looking in?
I think we're looking forward in the fourth dimension.
We were just talking about where the wind might be coming from because the clouds are going this way and the water's going this way.
I'm more interested in looking at the trees.
Trees are nice, aren't they? And the grass.
It's quite still today.
It is very still today. That's why I was wondering. The clouds are moving very, 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 very slow. There's not a lot of wind at all.
Clouds are always moving.
I think we're actually looking kind of northeast.
Okay.
Northeast, aye, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It could be southwest.
Could be.
Actually, what are we talking about? Because the Highlands are north, so if we know where the Highlands are, we always know where we are.
In that case, it would be south then.
I think we're looking west.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Give or take 5 or 6
Degrees. Over there, I can see what I would assume to be the path coming off the moor, but I don't know because I haven't been over there yet.
We don't know what Unicorn's up to. I think she's either settled or she's trying to keep warm.
Keep warm. Maybe a bit chilly.
I don't think this motion is working, Master Yoda.
What motion would you suggest? This one then?
That's a bit more fitting, maybe.
Seesaw motion.
Or maybe you'll want to do one of them.
The thing is, everybody, when you go somewhere with these two, they get up to these kind of things in the middle of the town centre, in the cafe, in the pub, anywhere we go, they will do that. Not necessarily this particular thing, but they will get up to some pretty strange behaviour, I'll tell you.
It's good for you.
It's waiting today.
But not me, I'm normal.
Yeah. So is he.
Surprised Unicorn didn't chuck a few things in there and say, "Aye, right, yard bear."
Yep.
And sorry for any of our English-speaking viewers. That's yes, sure, bear, very good bear.
All right, Bear. Gone yourself, Bear.
Right, I have to stop it. I think you've had enough. I can see a lovely big swan through the trees, but I think it's just a normal swan, honey. What do you think?
A whipper? No, it says that the swans that are on this loch are whipper swans.
Maybe they look the same and they just make a funny noise.
We'll try our best to sneak up on them.
Let's not sneak up on them as to terrorise them, let's sneak up on them as to avoid disturbing them. Anyway, the swans have ears, so shh.
Watergrass.
Eh?
Watergrass. Lobobia, I think it's called. You get your reeds and your sedges as well.
Is that a post? Yeah.
What?
Is that a post?
Yes.
Then white wing, that's a bird.
Tis a bird.
What was that? I should get a better view.
There's a couple of birds, they look like ducks actually. I don't know, but it seems to just be kind of chilling there.
For sure.
It's still a bit far out.
It's got its tail in the air.
I need to find a wee clearing.
Unusual to have a lone swan. No other ones.
Could be a widow. I think the swan just whooped.
Yeah, it's that's the same whipper swans.
That's a heron.
There it goes.
That's a really big swan, and what we can see from here doesn't really do it justice. It's huge.
Aye,
Yes.
I mean, even from here, it's like, I don't think I've seen a swan that big.
I've never seen a swan that big.
It must have, I can't zoom out much more. It must be, oh, I don't know, 100 feet away? 200 feet? No, 100 feet.
It just whooped.
It whooped.
Nah, that's about, let me count here, that's probably about 50, 60 feet, not 100. Then again, but humans are notoriously bad at judging distance by eye alone, so who knows how far it is.
I mean, it's just, even just his head is enormous.
Perhaps whooping swans are a big species.
You just have to take a word for it. It is a really big swan. And I hope you heard it.
Whoop.
It's whoop. Maybe it'll do it again for us.
Maybe, once it's done feeding or whatever it's doing. Do you plan to whoop Mr. and or Mrs. Whooping Swan?
Mr. Ginormous Swan and give it a whip.
And we call it whoopee as in cushion.
Just the size of its head is huge.
It's the same colour as a regular swan, except it's much bigger. Actually, I've got a fun fact about swans, which is the fact that they're monogamous, so they only ever mate once. And if they become widowed, then they never mate again, and they grieve their partner for the rest of their life.
That's quite sad.
Which, sadly enough, could actually be why that one's all alone.
Another fun fact, which we don't want to sort of alarm everybody with, but if you feed swans bread, they're more than likely to die because it'll swell up in their stomach and kill them. We found that out.
Yeah, same with ducks.
You can feed them...
You can feed them with the particular sort of like, it's like seeds and things like that you can get from wildlife shops, and you can use that for them. And so when the yak was little, we went away on holiday and we were on the Broads cruising, and that's when we discovered that you're not supposed to feed the swans bread. And the wildlife shops round about where you pull into Moor, they have these shops where you can buy specifically designed food for the swans. And I think we spent most of that holiday buying food so that the yak could feed the swans. They actually came down and landed on the roof of the boat.
And then you throw the food out.
And we would just throw the food out. The ducks and...
We had a couple of swans, but they would stay in the boat.
The ducks would come down and eat it as well. And we'd just sort of like throw it out the back of the boat. It was really cool.
A very bearded tree.
It's very... Yeah, so... Here at the water's edge, you can see all of the different vegetation. You get sedge, you get the water reeds, as they're called, which is, I think, lolobia. And then you've got the big tall reeds as well, with the darker heads on them. And this all grows right in here, in the kind of marshy, boggy bits at the side of the loch.
I've no doubt there'll be a few ducks in there then, eh?
Well, maybe.
Quack.
This will be the habitat that you'll find that you probably get the dragonflies and the butterflies will be in evidence come April. April to September, normally you'll get those. Although dragonflies, I believe, have a very short life cycle, don't they?
So do all insects.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that would be probably April to September. You could probably see that.
Our trail's been mischievously blocked by a lovely wee dog.
It's desperately trying to get this off of the thingy on the path.
What's this evidence of in my jacket, by the way?
Too big.
Came to say hi.
Yeah, it did.
Muddy feet.
Muddy feet. Well, that's us for today. A wee short, quick excursion. Hopefully, it is a lovely place to come. You should come yourself, and when the weather gets a wee bit more into like spring, maybe a wee bit more temperate, we'll come back and we'll do the larger Muir Rock one. So we hope you've enjoyed being with us today. This is the Unicorns and happy rainbows.
This is the Yak saying, please help me, I'm calling the muddy dog prince.
The bear saying, thanks for watching.